on the air. You're watching the next generation of news. The 23 News Update at 10 starts now.
It's just about that time of year that parents love and kids hate. Good evening and welcome to the 23 News Update at 10. I'm Marissa Lesner. The countdown is on as thousands of state line kids go back to school bright and early tomorrow morning, with many other districts following close behind. But back to school is getting expensive as many parents spend more on school supplies than they do on Christmas presents. 23 News reporter Brianna Collins crunches the numbers and tells us just how much we can expect to pay.
So I have 2 jobs. 2 jobs and 3 girls.
Parents are making their lists and checking them twice. While it's not Christmas, experts say back-to-school shoppers will dole out more cash than we do during the holiday season.
50 cents. They also want them colored.
Rockford Public School students head back to the classroom Wednesday. A new school year demands new supplies.
Post-it notes you could see, and then also paper, and also the other items like Clorox wipes. We need washable markers.
How many items do you think are on that list?
Probably about 50.
It's got to be like 20, if not more.
How much do you guys think all this is going to cost?
Probably be about 60 something a kid, I would assume, if not more
Around
than that.
there.
From notebooks to crayons to backpacks and pencils. These ever-growing back-to-school lists mean parents are shelling out more green for the upcoming school year.
We're looking at average, 300 maybe, with school supplies, yeah.
Families are estimated to spend nearly $76 billion on school supplies this year. That's up from $68 billion last year, according to the National Retail Association. It also estimates parents will spend about $673 once they're done purchasing clothes, shoes, and electronics for all the kids. After checking off every item on the list, parents are looking forward to one thing.
We're just excited to have the girls start another year.
2016-2017 school year. I'm ready.
In Rockford, Brianna Collins, 23 News.
Well, Harlem begins tomorrow. District 205, Kinnickinnick, Hononegah, and South Beloit on Wednesday, and Belvedere on Thursday. Freeport students, they get a little more time. They head back to class in 2 more weeks. And a lot of parents want to know what to expect weather-wise at the bus stop in the morning. Let's check in with Star Dairy in the Weather Center with a first look at our forecast.
Marissa, the good news is it will be rain-free. I'll show you all of the details here in just a few minutes, but first, here are your current conditions. Temperatures right now 73, a little cooler though. Freeport and Rochelle, Rock Falls as well, dropping into the 60s already. The rest of us will follow. Much of the cloud cover heading off and out of the region. Otherwise, we're just tracking a lot of moisture pumping in from the Gulf. That rain pushing closer and closer to the state line, but not going to interrupt us first thing tomorrow morning. I'll time out all of the rain details for you here in your full planning forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Star. New information tonight on the man killed in a head-on crash early yesterday morning. The Winnebago County Coroner's Office has identified the victim as 44-year-old Javier De La Uz Jr. from California. Deputies say De La Uz was driving north in the southbound lanes of North Main. He slammed into a car near Bauer Parkway. The people in the other car have serious injuries. A man thrown from a truck, another pinned inside with serious injuries, and it all happened, deputies say, because the driver was drunk. This happened around 2:20 this morning on Highway 11 near Avalon Road in Janesville. Rock County Sheriff's deputies say the driver, Stephen Kruger from Pennsylvania, lost control. The truck then flipped several times. Kruger was thrown out of the truck. He and the man pinned inside are in serious condition. A passenger in the back was able to get out with minor injuries. Kruger is charged with OWI and 2 counts of OWI causing injury. A Freeport man walking in the middle of a highway in East Peoria dies after being hit by a state trooper. According to the East Peoria Times-Courier, 44-year-old Jarrett Simons was on Route 116. State police say the trooper, who was in the left lane, didn't have time to react before hitting Simons. The trooper wasn't hurt. Illinois State Police are investigating. Wisconsin's governor has put the National Guard on standby after a night of violence in Milwaukee. Tensions flared Saturday after a black police officer shot and killed an armed black man in an area that was already on edge.
Neighbors on Milwaukee's north side cleared debris Sunday after several cars and buildings were set on fire overnight, including a gas station that was burned to the ground. Police in riot gear faced off with dozens of protesters, spurred on by posts on social media. The violence started a few hours after a police officer shot and killed Sylville Smith during a traffic stop Saturday afternoon. Police say the 23-year-old, with at least 13 prior arrests, ran, refused to stop, and had a loaded gun in his hand. The mayor pleaded for peace moving forward.
So if you love your son, you love your daughter, you love your grandchild, tell them to stay away from this area.
The Milwaukee County Sheriff requested the National Guard be activated, saying another night of violence cannot be allowed to happen.
I'm not going to get caught like Ferguson in Baltimore. Not going to happen. Because you all will stand up here and rightfully so and say, Sheriff, doesn't seem like you guys were prepared for this, and then what am I going to say?
Police made 17 arrests overnight. 4 officers were hurt, along with a 16-year-old girl hit by a stray bullet. People in the community say tensions have been rising since at least 2014, when police killed a mentally ill black man.
The black people of Milwaukee are tired. They're tired of living under this oppression.
The state is now investigating Saturday's shooting. Brian Webb for CBS News.
And the officer involved in that shooting was not identified, but officials say he was wearing a body camera, which could help with that investigation. Back here in the state line, the library in downtown Rockford looks safe, but it's the soil that's underneath the building that's toxic. As that site is cleaned up, those books will need a new home, and tomorrow Rockford City Council is expected to vote on the temporary library site. It would be in Winnebago County's former Resource Intervention Center at the corner of North Church and Jefferson. The library board says the Rick Center is one of the only locations downtown that actually had enough room for the collection and that would also support the weight of the books. It would cost the city $325,000 to buy the building. The current library on Wyman Street will be torn down so ComEd can remove the contaminated soil. A new library will be built in its place, but that could take 4 to 5 years. A warning of massive tax hikes and spending cuts. It's what some say could happen in Illinois if a recession hits. That's because that stopgap spending plan that lawmakers passed this summer is draining the state's rainy day fund. Experts say it should have $1.5 to $3 billion to get the state through an economic downturn. As of Friday, though, it only had about $180 million. In a matter of weeks, the balance will be zero. The fund is covering the cost for things like food and medicine since there's no full budget. Well, if you haven't looked at the calendar all weekend, tomorrow is August 15th, or 815, just like our area code. The city and more than 60 businesses are celebrating what's being dubbed as Rockford Day. It kicks off at 8:15 at Meg's Daily Grind on Perryville with a proclamation by the mayor. From 11 until 2, we're invited to grab some lunch and enjoy some music downtown along East State Street. Then at 4:30, the Rockford Area Arts Council will dedicate the Jefferson Street Bridge mural. On top of all of that, several stores have some big discounts and deals, a lot of them including $8.15. We have all of that information at WIFR.com. Iron Man, Batman, Superman, all the superheroes were in Rockford today, speeding through the air and around a track.
2, 1, and you're off.
This is the Superhero Dash. Hundreds of people dressed up as their favorite idol to help raise money for the Rockford First Champions Club. It's a ministry for kids with special needs and their families. After the race, all of those heroes got to have some fun. There was a dunk tank, inflatables, and an obstacle course. Looks like a lot of fun. Well, still to come on the 23 News Update at 10, how much actually happens in Congress? We'll take a look at the surprising numbers, plus what some lawmakers are doing to get more bills up for a vote.